Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. A couple of months ago, I did a video where I created a drugstore makeup kit for students and for people that are on a budget. So for today's video, I wanted to create a part 2. This time, I wanted to incorporate makeup brands that are readily available in New Zealand that retails roughly under $30 and also cruelty-free. So without further ado, let's hop right into the video. I'm going to start out with the e.l.f. Putty Primer. e.l.f. Cosmetics is vegan and cruelty-free. However, not all their products are vegan. e.l.f. Cosmetics is such a good brand because apart from them being cruelty-free, their makeup products are very affordable and the quality is amazing. So I've already filled in my brows today, so I don't need to do that. If you're curious for a brow product, I suggest e.l.f. Cosmetics eyebrow pencils. Mecca Max brow pencils aren't too expensive. They perform amazing. There's a lot of debate going on between whether Wet n Wild is cruelty-free or not. On my recent research, unfortunately, Wet n Wild is not cruelty-free because they started distributing their products on China, where animal testing is part of their law when it comes to cosmetics. So unfortunately, I won't be using any Wet n Wild in this video, but I do have some alternatives for you. For eye primer, I'm going to use the Mecca Max, the Transformer Eye Primer. Mecca Max is not technically considered drugstore, but I thought I would use or incorporate this brand because it's very affordable. It has high quality products and they are cruelty-free and vegan as well. For eyeshadow palette, oh my gosh, this is such an amazing palette. I have the LA Girl Pro Artistry eyeshadow palette. This palette right here retails for $25. You can purchase this from any pharmacy in New Zealand that sells LA Girl, or you could purchase it from a New Zealand-based makeup online store. You pretty much have everything that you need on a daily basis, a day to night look, and also it has a huge mirror. The quality of these shadows are amazing as well. So for today, I'm just gonna do like a simple eye because I have a glitter that I wanted to use as well. So I'm going to start with this shade right here and pop that straight onto my crease. And to deepen that up, I'm going to use the shade next to it and mainly focus that on the outer V. And I am going to use a different brush and go back to the transition shade that we used before. Then I'm going to pick up the transition shade once again and try to deepen that outer half of the eye and also kind of define the crease on the inner part of the eye. With a smaller brush, I am going to deepen it a little bit more with the black shade. And then I will blend that with the darker brown that we popped in. So now that I have the placement of transition shades, I am going to use another e.l.f. product, and these are the glitter shadows. These are relatively new and you can purchase these from Kmart. Unfortunately, Kmart here in Wellington is always empty and out of stock. So if you live somewhere else, I could guarantee you that they'll probably have these ones in different shades. So these are the e.l.f. Did I say that? Glitter shadows. I'm going to use Dry Martini, which is like a olive green shade. So I'm going to go on and pop that straight. And I'm going to use a brush to slowly pack that on. So we are going to use this as a base, and then I'm gonna go over it with Disco Queen, which is more of a silver glitter, and that will make the shadow pop. and then pop the Disco Queen, but I'm going to use my hand as a palette because this one is a little bit chunky. So I highly suggest for you to pop it on your finger, kind of spread the product all over, and then pat it onto the lid. That way you get the intensity that you want, because it can get a little bit chunky if you apply it straight from the tube to your eyes. I definitely did that the first time I tried this and it turned out terrible. See how that gave an instant dimension to the lid? To intensify the green a little bit, I'm actually going to pick up this shade right here from the palette and kind of mix in this shade with the glitter so we can fill in a little bit of the gap. And then I'm going to go and use the blender brush and kind of pop that a little bit. So that's my eyes at the moment. So I'm just gonna quickly apply my mascara. The cruelty-free and best mascara that I have tried so far is from Essence. Unfortunately, I have just run out, so I'm just gonna use whatever mascara I have open at the moment, and I'll be right back to do the rest of the face. So for the foundation, I have the Australis Fresh and Flawless foundation, and this one has got an SPF of 15 and this is the full coverage foundation. I actually love this foundation, and I love that this is also inexpensive. And Australis Cosmetics is a cruelty-free brand that is based in Australia. They do sell here in New Zealand, and you can pretty much find Australis Cosmetics anywhere, from the pharmacy to department stores. So I like to put a little bit on the sides. The consistency is a little bit watery and runny, and I do find that you get like a medium coverage on an instant. And I love the fact that the formula is quite thin as well. It pretty much covered everything that I need to cover. I could go with another layer, but I'm quite happy with how my skin looks at the moment. Like, I don't need to apply more because I'm gonna go over it with a concealer. It dries down to a more soft matte once it settles onto the skin, and it doesn't feel heavy or cakey. It feels very lightweight. It just feels like a hydrating moisturizer, and I love the fact that it's very affordable and the packaging is very convenient because it comes in a squeezy tube. So for concealer, I actually have two products right here. So I have the Revolution Supersize Conceal and Define, which is under $20. I believe this is for $14. And exciting news is that Flower Beauty is now available here in New Zealand. You can purchase them from Chemist Warehouse, which I did not know existed until I went to town today in Wellington, and I found a massive Chemist Warehouse sign. So I went in there and checked up a bunch of their stuff, and I'm glad that they stock Flower Beauty. So I'm so happy that you can finally purchase this brand, because not only that it is Drew Barrymore's brand, but it's actually a good brand. In general, they offer cruelty-free and half vegan products, which is quite nice at a very, very affordable price. Like the foundation, I believe, is only $14, and that's amazing. Unfortunately, the shade that I have is light, but I'm planning to purchase one that suits my skin tone. So I'm going to quickly just blend the Revolution now because that one dries pretty quickly. The coverage of the Revolution is pretty nice, but because that concealer is very, very light on my skin tone, I'm going to top it off with the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer. And this is somewhat closer to my skin tone, just a little bit in here, just to tone down the brightness that I got from the Revolution. My skin actually looks kind of flawless. So for powder today, I have the e.l.f. Cosmetics Halo Glow Setting Powder. Again, you can purchase e.l.f. Cosmetics from Kmart, and I got it there. This powder retails for $20. It is such a good powder. I feel like it is a dupe for the Hourglass Veil Setting Powder. The cool thing about this, though, it it has a lock system, so you're not gonna get any powder all over yourself. And it's such a finely milled powder. It doesn't give you any white cast at all. The shade that I got is light because I find that the halo powder is a little bit tinted, and I mainly use the powder to highlight anyway. But this one has got a slight, very slight to unnoticeable tint at all. And I love how it sets my makeup because it gets rid of the grease, but then it doesn't make my face fully matte. And this is a perfect combination with the Australis foundation because that foundation can tend to dry really matte once it settles on the skin. For bronzer today, I have a palette, and this is from Covergirl, and this is the TruBlend Serving Sculpt palette. It sucks that Covergirl does not get a lot of love that it deserves, but honestly they have amazing products. I actually love their primer, which is the Beige Business Primer, and I do love their highlighting palette, which comes in a trio as well. And their foundation, I used to use the 3-in-1 full coverage foundation. I think they repackaged and reformulated that, so I have not tried Covergirl in years, but this is one of the products that I held on and still use to this day. This palette has got a little bit of scent to it. The only downside is that they don't offer a lot of shades. So if you are wanting to get a bronzer, Mecca Max do have a bronzer and highlight trio palette that recently just came out, and I believe that one retails for $30. It's a little bit pricey, but come to think of it, you get 3 shades. You get a bronzer, a highlight, and a contour shade, so it's still a good value for money. If you're a little bit darker than my skin tone, then this is not gonna show up on your skin tone at all. But as you can see, it gave me a nice neutral bronze. It's not too golden, it's not too red or pink, it's just a perfect neutral shade. And for blush, this is debatable because Milani Cosmetics is quite expensive here in New Zealand, but then in other countries they consider it as drugstore. But I love their baked blushes. Now you can get Milani Cosmetics from Farmers or selected online makeup store. Just make sure you look out for sale because this alone retails for almost $30, which is very hefty for an affordable brand, but their products are amazing. And this one is definitely a dupe for the Hourglass ambient lighting blushes. Is that what it's called? But the marbleized one. And yeah, Farmers usually always have sales, so just look out for that. But this is such a good blush. I have used this a ton and I still have a lot. Love the formulation of this. Blends onto the skin. It has a little bit of sheen to it, but on the skin it just gives you a nice iridescent glow. It's not too glittery or too shimmery. Also, Flower Beauty does amazing blushes. And then you also have e.l.f. Cosmetics. Obviously, LA Girl has got some beautiful blushes and highlight as well. So for highlighter, I am going to use this powder right here from Mecca Max, and this is the Skin Halo Diamond Dust. I believe this one retails for about 20 something dollars, and you get a huge pan. The quality of the highlighter is truly amazing. I've dented this already, and I think I'm about to hit pan on that area where I dunked my brush into, but it's such a good oh my gosh, highlighter. It doesn't accentuate your texture at all. Sure, it is shimmery and can come across as too much on the skin, but once you thoroughly blend it into the skin, it melts like butter. It gives you that wet highlight. If you are looking for a more natural highlighter, Essence Cosmetic, the Pure Nude highlighter, I think that's what it's called, is also amazing. It's not as intense as this highlight, but it will give you that glow from within type of look. So I'm going to finish off my lower lash line. I'm just gonna repeat whatever I did on the lid. So I'm just gonna do these 2 shades right here and add a little bit of black on the outer V. For inner corner highlight, I am going to pick up this shade right here. It has a little bit of like pink flecks of glitter to it, but that would be perfect with the glitter that we have on the lid. You could also use your face highlighter as an inner corner highlight, but because I want to intensify this look a little bit more, I opted for that shade. And apply a little bit of mascara. For my lips today, again, this is not drugstore, but it is affordable. So I have this lip liner right here from Jordana. This is probably the cheapest one that I have. This retails for $4 and you can find this from $2 shop. Like any $2 shop that sells Jordana cosmetics. I do know that Jordana Cosmetics is a cruelty-free brand. And this is the retractable lip liner, and this one is in the shade Tawny, which is Kali Bible's favorite. Another option for lip liner would have to be from e.l.f. Cosmetics. They're very, very affordable. Lip liners cost only $2, which won't break your bank. It's cheaper than the parking meter in Wellington, if I have to be honest. And for lipstick today, this is not drugstore, but you can definitely find this from selected pharmacies and also online. This is a lipstick from XO Beauty. This one retails for $24 and I have the shade Mudita, which is a nice pinky shade. It's a little bit too pink for my liking, so I'm going to top it off with a gloss, again from Australis. This is by far one of my favorite very nude gloss, and this is the Girl Boss Demi Matte Lip Cream. Technically, it's a lip cream, not a lip gloss, but I usually use this as a topper. And ladies and gentlemen, here is my final makeup look. I hope you liked this video. I hope it helped you kind of find new products that are cruelty-free and also available in New Zealand. I wanted this to be as affordable as possible because with the amount of releases that we have at the moment, we don't have millions of dollars to spend on every makeup drop that happens literally every second of the day. These products right here are for my girls that are on a budget but wanted to look good and glamorous. And as I said before, you don't need the most expensive makeup to create a very glam, very chic makeup look. Please subscribe to my channel for more updates and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.